A vandalism last week left the Nathan Hale Homestead temporarily closed, but now police and staff at the homestead are asking for your help. Your reporter, Logan Perrone, live in Coventry this morning with the latest on what we know. Good morning, Logan.
Yeah, good morning, Taylor. We do know that one of the many things that was destroyed that evening of this vandalism was the cameras here, specifically on the barn at the market. You can see this one right up here, completely knocked off, pointing straight down. I didn't stop them from getting caught on camera, however. Just right on the other side of the barn, one of the cameras caught them. Now, we've learned today from the market managers that the suspect that was here stole copper and metal from the barns, and the homestead was actually flooded by the vandalism, again, stealing the copper pipes. Connecticut Landmarks is raising money to help pay for the repairs, but again, most of that damage has been since cleaned up. Now, again, police informed us last week that whoever did this broke windows, damaged doors, they trashed multiple rooms. We have learned that a laptop, money, and again, now we know metal is missing. Now, again, caught on camera, fittingly enough, trying to disassemble the surveillance system. And again, the mastermind, he left DNA by leaving the crowbar that he used to break in here at the scene. Now, Coventry police, they haven't publicly identified a suspect yet, but they did release images of him. If you know who this might be, they're asking that you contact the department. Your reporter live in Coventry this morning, Logan Perrone, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Logan.